I come across far too many people that have an extreme over-reliance on cloud storage. They literally use the cloud as their only backup method. They don't have any external hard drives. They barely even have any flash drives at this point. They just want to store everything in the cloud. And this is the reason why, whenever I talk about backups, I tell you all to create multiple local copies of your most important information so that you know it's always going to be available to you even when the cloud fails. Because at the end of the day, the cloud is just some other guy's computer and you have no idea how responsible he's going to be with your data. And I can guarantee you that your information is more important to you than it is to him. Now, when it comes to Google's cloud service, it's one of the most popular ones online, but there's also been a trend of people having their entire Google accounts nuked for suspected CSAM in their Google Drives. And this is a problem that new parents have been dealing with a lot in particular because, of course, they like to take a lot of photos of their kid, and a lot of parents will at some point take a photo of their kid in the bathtub. It's one of those classic baby pictures that a lot of us have in our baby books. And let's say that they're not even planning to post it anywhere online because there's a lot of weirdos out there. Maybe they just want to send that picture to their in-laws in WhatsApp, or maybe they just want to print it out for the baby book. Well, if you took that photo with an Android phone, then there's a good chance that it automatically got synced to Google's cloud because that's the default setting on Android phones. Of course, you can change it, but as we all know, very few people change the default settings. So now the photos you took of your kid are on Google servers and they're getting scanned by their different tools for CSAM detection, and there have been many known false positives getting generated by those scanners. You see, Google isn't just scanning for known images of child abuse. They're trying to use artificial intelligence to discover new instances of abuse, and this is where the issue lies. More often than not, Google scanners generate false positives for CSAM, and it's something that Google has a zero tolerance policy for, even if you have not met the legal definition of it. You could have taken medical photos of your child to send to your doctor. You know, that's something that you would think would be one of the best use cases for our modern smartphone technology. You send photos of a sick child to a doctor so that you don't have to inconvenience him and the child with another trip to the hospital to check on the kid's rash. Well, as far as Google is concerned, it doesn't matter. They're going to go right ahead and nuke your Google account and forward all of your information to the police. So the police do an investigation which involves looking at all of these photos that Google themselves flagged as illegal, and even when the police investigation determines that no crimes were committed, Google still refuses to reinstate people's accounts. Just think about what that means. The whole reason for Google and every online platform scanning for CSAM in the first place is for them to avoid legal liability for that kind of criminal activity, and that's why Google reaches out to law enforcement whenever they detect violations like this. So you would think that if the law has now determined that there has been no wrongdoing and they drop the investigation, that Google would do the same thing, but no. They keep you locked out of your Google account, and you end up losing more than just your photos that you stored in the cloud. I mean, I know I started off this video talking about the cloud storage and how unreliable it can be because of these account deletions, but if most people were to lose their Google accounts today, it would completely devastate their online digital lives. Okay, think about this. If your Gmail is your primary email account, then you're going to lose access to that. So all of your contacts, all of your emails, and all of those accounts that got linked to your Gmail or the Google account also get lost. I see a lot of people using sign in with Google because they like the convenience of not having to remember another password, and then when they're logged in on all their devices, they can log into their account. But then if you lose that Google account, you also lose those completely unrelated online accounts. They all get Thanos snapped at the same time. And if Google is successful in preventing people from sideloading apps onto their devices, then a banned Google account could also stop you from being able to access the Play Store and install any new applications on your phone. You won't have access to F-Droid, you won't have access to the Aurora Store, you won't be able to download APKs from GitHub or APK Pure or some other online source and install them manually. No, Google wants people only installing applications from the Play Store, which you won't be able to do if your Google account gets banned. Now, I suppose at this point you could just create a new Google account, but if you're using the same phone number and the same IP address of the banned one, then that could put your brand new Google account in jeopardy as well. To make matters worse, Google isn't just banning people for uploading images of kids or their own children to Google Drive, they're also banning people for generating AI images using Google's very own AI models. There's a trend that started last month with Google's Nana Banana tool, and in case you aren't familiar with Nana Banana, it's an image editing tool that's part of Google's Gemini, and one of its most popular use cases is uploading multiple images and then merging the photos together. You can actually see on their website that, you know, this cat gets merged into the hiking picture with the girl, or this guy is changing his entire fit with AI just with a selfie and some PNGs of some nice clothes. I mean, it's pretty cool. In 2025, you can use AI to just change your drip on the fly. And one of the trends that's gone viral on social media is called Hug Your Younger Self, which involves taking a current selfie and then a picture of your younger self and merging the photos together so that it looks like you are actually giving your younger self a hug. Very wholesome, very cool, and Google actually promoted this trend online themselves, but people have been getting their accounts nuked for using this AI model. I actually had a viewer reach out to me because his Google account got disabled after he used Nana Banana to generate a hug yourself image for one of his female friends. Now, I've seen several posts on Reddit and other online forums about Google's AI image generation having a lot of restrictions in place where they failed to generate images of children or women that have large cleavage or firearms and all sorts of things that I guess Google considers offensive. And, you know, I can understand Google putting restrictions on their AI models because, again, they don't want to deal with the liability of all the AI mischief that people want to commit. It's like, okay, I understand putting some restrictions in place, but banning an account seems like a huge overstep, especially to have it banned through an automated process. Like, there's literally bots determining whether or not you get to have a Google account. There's basically no human oversight, and then there's no recourse for getting the account restored, even when law enforcement investigates this incident and finds that there has been no wrongdoing. So, if you have any information stored with Google or important accounts that are linked to your Gmail, make sure that you back up your data somewhere that's actually safe and add a different account or a different email to those accounts so that you can recover them. Don't ever use sign on with Google because then your account for a different online service will be intimately tied to your Google account forever, which is going to put it in danger if you're using their AI tools. Don't enable Google Photos on your Android device or any other camera device for that matter, because once a picture is taken, it automatically gets synced to the cloud, and then you're basically at Google's mercy. I mean, today, it's the CSAM false positives that are getting people's accounts nuked when they do this hug your younger self trend or when new parents are taking photos of their kids and putting them in Google Photos, but the policy could easily be expanded to firearms as well. Just look at the rules on YouTube about guns and how Google's AI blocks images of guns, and it's not difficult to figure out that Google has a pretty hostile view towards firearms. So don't put any of your important eggs in the Google basket because at any time, without any warning, Google could end up destroying your entire digital life. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it to hack the algorithm, and check out my online store, based.win, where you can buy awesome merch like this based.win shirt I'm wearing right now, or accessories for your phone or laptop. 10% store-wide discount when you pay with Monero XMR at checkout. Have a great rest of your day.